let's jump into it, Dane. Let's talk about your favorite player to team fits from. We're actually going to jump over across a few mock drafts of yours here, but start off with your first one. Give me your favorite player to team fit that you got for this episode.
So I went to Cincinnati Bengals at pick number 18 in the first round. Bryon Murphy, the defensive tackle from Texas. He's one of my favorite players in the draft, and I think he's going to be drafted somewhere in that 8 to 18 range. So if he falls to 18, I love that fit for Cincinnati. 6'1", 300 pounds, explosive through his hips. There's a powerful twitch to his movements that I don't see any other player in this class matching up with. He led Texas in pressures with 46. He was number one in all of the FBS in terms of interior disruption, in terms of the pass rush win percentage. So I love the way he gets vertical. He can leverage gaps. He can make plays versus both the run and the pass. And you look at the defensive tackle paydays this past offseason across the NFL, teams covet those interior disruptors, and the Bengals don't currently have that. They also need someone that's going to help stop the run. So, they brought in Sheldon Rankins, nice player. BJ Hill, he's still there. They need more help up front. And Murphy, he has that disruptive energy that's just, it's interchangeable too. He could be a shaded nose. He could be a 3 technique. I think he is a perfect fit for the type of player the Bengals want and the type of player they need.
Yeah, the Bengals are such an interesting team because I think there is, and we just talked about them on our Teams That Will Shape the Draft episode last week, where I can see that they're on offense, they're clearly going through a transition era-wise, right? Like the guys that Burrow was brought in, like when he was brought to the team, and then really when he starts firing off, like Tyler Boyd's gone, Joe Mixon's gone, T. Higgins probably in the last year of his contract. You'd think like, okay, this is the time to sort of start to reload that side of the ball. And they can do that obviously with some future picks here. But in the first round, Dane, like, man, that defense was a mess last year. That and especially up the spine. I mean, I felt bad for Lou Anarumo, who I think is a good coach, and he took the head coach interview with the Cardinals, and like midway through last season, I'm like, man, he might never get another one again, just because they do not have good enough personnel on that side of the ball. So this pick specifically seems to, I think, check multiple boxes for them. Starts to build up that spine of the defense, and also like this is a guy that can maybe be sort of reminiscent of like what Chris Jones gives the Kansas City Chiefs, right? Like in these games and big games where the Bengals have a lead, like can he be that? Like, can he be that type of closer of a prospect for them?
Yeah, I think so. And because he plays a lot of snaps, and first quarter, fourth quarter, consistently disruptive. And he's a fun story too. Just learning about his background. He was a linebacker in high school, and his sophomore year, the coaches they introduced this pressure package where the mic comes down and basically blitzes through the A gap. And it worked so well that the next game, they're like, all right, sorry, you're a defensive tackle now. And he added weight, and he ended up breaking Von Miller's sack record at DeSoto High School because of it. And so, goes to Texas. He was part of a rotation his first 2 years. And then this past year, really blew up. And one thing I do really like about the tape, like I said, you can watch the tape and see him play line up over the center as a nose, as a 1 technique. You can watch him over the B gap. He can play multiple spots on that defensive line. And I think that's exactly what this team needs, because again, they need help stopping the run, and getting that interior disruption is something that a lot of teams covet, and they don't have it. So you look at their drafting the last couple of years, they've gone defense with maybe not instant contributors, like a Miles Murphy last year, DJ Turner the year before, I think, if I'm got that right. So like it's
Dax Hill,
this
too,
is a
another
guy that
drafted high.
Yeah. So both for the future, but also he's going to make an immediate impact too. I think he's ready to hit the ground running. The biggest question might be, is he there? I mean, I think he's, the Falcons have done work on him at number 8. That may be more of a trade back situation if they get out of 8 and trade back to 12, 13, 14, whatever it may be. But yeah, there's at least a decent chance that he's not even around at pick 18 for Cincinnati.
Yeah, that was going to be my follow-up question to you, was you think he really realistically makes it here? Because I know you've been a fan of his during the process and really kind of shined a light on him. So it'll be interesting to see if he can make it this far down the board, because I think stylistically and just everything here, it makes a lot of sense for Cincinnati.